Look at a supermarket from the outside. It looks like a simple box, a warehouse filled with food designed to let you walk in, pick up what you need, and leave. But once you cross the threshold, the box changes. It is no longer a store. It is a highly optimized, three-dimensional physical algorithm designed to calculate, manage, and slow down your feet. You only came in for a carton of milk. It is a simple, 3-minute task. Yet, 40 minutes later, you are standing at the checkout, holding a receipt for $60, wondering what just happened to your Saturday morning. What happened was not a lack of discipline. It was the building winning a quiet battle against your evolutionary biology. Let's trace your steps from the very beginning. You walk through the automatic sliding doors. Immediately, you enter the first design mechanism, the decompression zone. This is the first 5 to 10 meters of the store. It is usually wide, open, and relatively empty. There are no major product displays or price tags here. Planners know that when you transition from the fast-paced, noisy outside world into the store, your brain is overwhelmed. Your eyes are adjusting to the bright fluorescent lighting, your skin is adapting to the air conditioning, and your ears are tuning out the low hum of the refrigeration units. In this zone, you are functionally blind to merchandise. If a store placed its best deals here, you would walk right past them. So, the architecture gives you a buffer. It is a physical buffer designed to let you slow down, decompress, and switch your brain into shopping mode. Once you pass the decompression zone, you reach for a shopping cart. In 1937, a grocery store owner named Sylvan Goldman noticed a simple biological limit. When a shopper's handheld basket became too heavy, they stopped buying things and walked to the register. To solve this, Goldman mounted 2 wire baskets onto a folding metal chair frame on wheels. He had invented the shopping cart, but the invention almost failed. Men refused to use them because they felt sissy, implying they weren't strong enough to carry a basket. Women refused to use them because they too closely resembled baby carriages. Goldman's store remained empty of carts, and his sales stalled. So, Goldman did what any modern marketing pioneer would do. He hired actors. He employed a group of men and women of different ages to push the wheeled carts around his store all day, pretending to shop. He placed a greeter at the door to explain to real customers that everyone is using the new carts now. The social friction evaporated, and sales skyrocketed. Today, those carts are not just vehicles, they are psychological triggers. Over the last few decades, shopping carts have nearly doubled in size. This is not because turkeys got bigger. It is because of a deep evolutionary discomfort with returning from a hunt empty-handed. A large, half-empty cart creates a subconscious sense of scarcity. We feel an instinctual urge to fill the void, leading us to add just a few more items to make the cart look complete. With your oversized cart, you make your first turn. In 90% of supermarkets, you will turn right. This is the invariant right. Because we drive on the right side of the road in most countries, and because most humans are right-handed, we naturally turn right when entering a space. This right turn guides you into a counterclockwise loop around the store. By walking counterclockwise, the outer shelves are always on your right side. Since most people are right-handed, this makes it physically easier to reach out and toss items into your cart without stopping your momentum. As you turn right, you are hit by a sensory wall. Fresh flowers, freshly baked bread, and mounds of bright, misted produce. This is the Foyer Freshness Illusion. The smell of warm bread and flowers triggers your salivary glands. Your brain associates these smells with safety, abundance, and hunger. At the same time, the visual display of fresh fruits creates a halo effect. By starting your journey surrounded by healthy organic food, your subconscious registers the entire supermarket as a fresh, healthy place. This moral licensing makes it much easier for you to forgive yourself later when you throw a box of processed frozen pizza into your cart. As you look at the vegetables, you notice they are covered in tiny water droplets. Supermarkets install automatic misting systems that spray water over the greens every few minutes. This water does not keep the vegetables fresh. In fact, wet produce rots faster, and the water adds extra weight to the scale, meaning you pay more per pound. Think about the cynicism of this design. The store is willing to let its own produce rot faster and force you to pay more for water weight, just to trick your eyes with a reflection. But the store does it anyway because water droplets reflect light. Under the specialized bright spotlights, the droplets make the lettuce look like it was just picked from a field covered in morning dew. It is a visual cue of freshness that bypasses your logical brain. Now you decide it's time to find the milk. This is where you encounter the golden triangle. In retail design, the golden triangle is the space between the entrance, the most high-demand items, and the checkout lanes. Planners place the entrance, the dairy cooler, and the registers as far apart from each other as possible. The milk is always at the very back wall of the store. Part of this is logistics. Dairy coolers need to be refilled directly from the cold storage rooms behind them. But the primary reason is spatial manipulation. By placing the milk at the furthest point, the store guarantees you must traverse the entire length of the building, exposing you to thousands of products you had no intention of buying. As you walk down the long outer perimeter, you experience the Gruen Transfer. Named after architect Victor Gruen, who originally coined the term to explain why people get lost in giant shopping malls, this is the exact moment when your brain's cognitive map breaks down. You entered the store with a clear, linear plan. Go to the milk, pay, and leave. But the constant sensory inputs, the low-frequency music, the bright labels, the smells, and the layout, inevitably overwhelms your brain's navigation system. You lose your sense of direction, forget your original list, and enter a passive, suggestive state. You are no longer a person running an errand. You are a consumer wandering a maze. To keep you in this state, the floor beneath your cart changes. According to a widely cited design theory, supermarkets install smaller floor tiles in high-margin aisles, like wine or cosmetics. When your cart wheels roll over these smaller tiles, the clicking sound, click, 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 speeds up. Your brain, which uses ambient sound to estimate speed, is tricked into registering that you are moving too fast. You instinctively slow down. By slowing your feet, the store increases your dwell time in front of the most expensive items on the shelves. As you slow down, you turn into a narrower aisle. Here, you are protected by the butt brush effect. Discovered by retail researcher Paco Underhill, this effect describes a simple human boundary. If a shopper is touched or bumped from behind while looking at a product, they will quickly abandon the item and walk away. This is especially true for women. To prevent this, high-margin aisles are designed to be wider, giving shoppers a sense of personal security so they feel comfortable standing and evaluating products for longer periods. In contrast, cheap bulk aisles are narrower, pushing you through faster because the store doesn't need you to linger on low-profit items. You look at the shelves. You are looking at a vertical real estate market. Supermarkets do not make their profits solely from selling groceries. They make massive profits renting out shelf space. This is called a slotting fee. National brands can pay substantial fees, sometimes running into the millions, just to place their products in the prime zones. The most expensive zone is eye level. Located between 120 and 160 centimeters from the floor, this is the first thing an adult sees. The products here are almost always name brands with high markups, but there is a second eye level zone, child level. Located at about 1 meter high, this is where you will find sugary cereals, colorful boxes, and toys. The store is utilizing children as secondary sales agents, placing temptations directly in their line of sight so they grab them and lobby their parents to buy them. The cheapest products, like generic flour or bulk oats, are placed on the very bottom shelf, forcing you to bend down, or on the top shelf, where you have to stretch. The store is taxing your physical comfort to protect its profit margins. As you reach the end of the aisle, you see a display of soda cans on an end cap, the end of the shelving row. Because this display is isolated and stands out from the rest of the aisle, your brain registers it as a special offer. You assume the product must be on sale. In reality, brands pay a massive premium to occupy these end caps, and the price is often identical to the regular shelf price, or even higher. But the visual isolation tricks your brain into thinking it's a deal. Finally, you reach the back wall, grab your carton of milk, and head toward the checkout. But to leave, you must pass through the checkout bottleneck. By this point, you have been in the store for 35 minutes. During this time, your brain has made dozens of micro-decisions, evaluating prices, comparing brands, and resisting temptations. This constant cognitive load depletes the glucose in your prefrontal cortex, leading to a state psychologists call decision fatigue. Your willpower battery is dead. The checkout lanes are deliberately designed to be narrow, with high walls leaving no escape route. You are trapped in a queue. Right next to you, at eye level, are tiny, high-margin comfort items, chocolate bars, sodas, lip balms, and magazines. Your exhausted brain, looking for a quick chemical reward to recover from decision fatigue, easily surrenders. You grab a candy bar. You tell yourself you've earned it. Even if you manage to resist the candy, the store has one final psychological barrier, what we might call the exit shame barrier. The exit layout is designed so that you cannot easily leave the store without passing through a checkout lane or a one-way security gate. If you walk through the store and decide not to buy anything, you are forced to awkwardly squeeze past a cashier or ask an employee to open a gate. This creates a subtle social anxiety, the fear of looking like a shoplifter or being judged for leaving empty-handed. To avoid this minor social discomfort, many people will buy a single, cheap item they don't need, just to have a receipt in hand as they walk out. You walk out the sliding glass doors, back into the parking lot. The sun is a little lower than you expected. Your wallet is $60 lighter. In your bag is a carton of milk, a package of gourmet cheese, a bag of chips, and a chocolate bar you didn't plan on buying. You might think you made these choices, but in reality, you were just following a path that was drawn for you before you even left your house. The next time you walk into a supermarket, remember, you are not just a customer. You are a user navigating a physical interface, and the interface always knows exactly where you are going. If you want to understand more about the hidden systems of daily life, subscribe, because next time we're going to step into a room where 5 minutes feels like an hour, and explore how space can be weaponized to warp your perception of time.